Johnny got a toy golf set when he was 3, and from that day on, he was hooked. All he wanted to do was golf, golf, golf. He'd be on the links before school, after school. All he ever wanted was to go pro. And then, one day, when he was holding his grandson and thinking about his 12 handicap, Johnny realized it just might not happen for him. But you know what did happen for him? He switched to Geico and saved a bunch of money on car insurance. So that was good, and so was hanging out with his grandson.
I want to do it.
Testing.
Test. Testing.
Help. All right, let's do this thing, man.
Let's do it.
That was Hillary Clinton choking out Zombie at the end of the test.
They know what's going on. They know they don't want our voices being heard right now.
That's why we're starting so late today.
She was done with Epstein. She came for me.
The news media, the government had made me fall asleep for 3 hours, so I forgot everything that happened this morning.
We were late. Several black cars are cutting me off.
That's right, yeah.
On the way here. If you haven't heard, Jeffrey Epstein has committed suicide. And
I gotta be honest.
hell is broken loose.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I think he was a depressed guy who really tried to commit suicide.
That's right. I think it was his cellmate.
Twice. He don't have a cellmate.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
they said that he was on suicide watch.
Sure.
Right? And I guess he was so well behaved that they took him off of it, and the minute they took him off of it, he tried to kill himself.
That's right.
And he succeeded by killing
And
himself.
I'll show them.
Also, from what I hear, when you're on suicide watch, like everything that like your bed sheets are like made specifically not to like kill yourself.
Yeah,
you can't. There's no way of killing yourself.
Yeah. Well, he was on. He had to have been on the second version. I don't even know what it's like. Periodical suicide watch, and it's like 24/7 surveillance.
Yeah.
So like he already tried to kill himself 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Right. And then for some reason on this morning, for some reason he wasn't on 24/7 surveillance, and the second they took him off of it, he kills himself. And they expect the rest of the world to be like, oh, he wasn't murdered.
Oh, so there's no tape, right?
You'll never see tape. You haven't seen his body. I mean, they said I saw pictures of him strapped to a gurney, but
right. Yeah,
I mean,
I saw that.
I mean, that could be anybody.
That could be just a dummy.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really
or a model.
Yeah,
I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? What do you think out there?
Well, some of the theories are that he escaped from prison and he's going to go to Israel with a new identity. That's some of the theories.
Why would they?
No, Jeffrey Epsteinberg.
Because that happens. I don't know. I don't know. It's a stupid fucking theory. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Some of the realistic theories was he was obviously murdered in prison.
He probably, yeah. I think he was murdered.
Yeah.
He had a lot of information on.
Well, yesterday it was the report came out and from Virginia Giuffre,
right?
And she named George Mitchell and like that was the only name that I recognized. But there was like businessmen and there was
a prince. There's Prince Andrew.
She was yeah, but he's been named in her her reports in the last like 2 years.
And there was.
It was getting. See, the thing is, it was getting close. Yeah, it was getting close. Whereas, as of yesterday, they had named people, you know, like new names, right?
Yeah.
And it was like any other day before she would start to really hit home with like some of the bigger names.
Well, it's ironic. It's kind of like the Mitchell report, where like a couple of lesser known names came out during the steroid era, right? And then they were like, "Well, wait a few weeks, and that's when they'll just release everyone."
Right. Yeah.
And ironically, that fucking asshole was on. George Mitchell was a guy who conducted.
Yeah, he also worked heavily with the Democratic Party in the 90s.
He did.
People that, you know.
Yeah. But to me, I'm a Yankee fan. He named a lot of Yankees.
Yeah, Democrat.
He knew like Mitchell was the guy with the steroids, all that shit. But yeah, I think it's someone we don't know about who's controlling this whole thing. Like, I think Epstein was the fall. I think he was like the fall guy. He was like a party animal, right? He had the island. He had the plane. There's this elite guy out there that they're never going to get to But it's out there. People know who he is.
It's George Soros.
It was the ghost
I
of
don't-
Michael Jackson.
I don't think it's
Had
George.
nothing to do with George
It has
Michael
nothing to do with Michael Jackson. Has
In fact,
nothing to do with
a pedophile.
I think that Michael Jackson wasn't really a pedophile. I think that they were.
They kept pinning it on him.
Yeah,
I think he was.
I don't think he was.
I think they're all pedophiles.
I think that documentary proved that they weren't, especially when they found out that one kid was lying.
Who, Wade?
No, not Wade. Safe Chuck.
Safe Chuck was lying?
Yeah, the one that
what?
was like all distraught and shit like that.
How was he
He had
lying?
made a claim that in 1989 that he was raped in Michael Jackson's like third bedroom with like a bunch of shit in there.
Right.
That wasn't even created until 1993. The bedroom wasn't even created. Wasn't even made on Neverland Ranch in his house until 1993.
Okay.
So he got caught in a lie. And then he was like, well, maybe his memory's all fucked up.
Yeah, but
or maybe he was just pinned. He was just.
A maid came out and said that she saw something with
I don't
them,
believe
or-
her. Who's this maid? And has she ever been on a prosecution?
You don't think Michael Jackson was a pedophile?
Not anymore, no.
Why would they pin against him?
Because he was a powerful man in Hollywood. And he was standing to make a lot of money.
Wow. Oh.
Getting back to Epstein, I can see what you're saying. Where
Epstein.
he is.
It's just weird because dating back from the early 90s, you had Gary Webb suicide, right? He committed
Yeah.
suicide. And he was attached to the whole crack epidemic, came out with the articles, he shot himself twice in the head, right? Then you had Barry
Shoot yourself
Seal.
twice in the head.
Well, that's the thing.
He missed the first time.
No, he was murdered, zombie. Right? Then you had Barry Seal, who also was the pilot, bringing in cocaine throughout the 90s, and then the CIA put a bunch of crack cocaine in Los Angeles, and the LA. During that time, during the head of the LA police department was Michael Rupert. Do you know who that is? He was on Joe Rogan years ago. He was an investigative journalist. He came out and he was the first one to report about the crack cocaine epidemic in L.A. He I think he heckled Bill Clinton during a press conference during the mid '90s, and then they told him like, "Shut the fuck up." He also committed suicide.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long ago? Like,
He was just on Joe Rogan in 2013,
he must have-
and he committed suicide 2015.
during Hillary Clinton's presidential run.
Not to mention Seth Rich,
Yeah, well, that will never ever get uncovered.
right? I'm not saying, and also Princess Diana was killed in a car crash. She had information on Prince Andrew, and all these people are linked to Epstein. Anthony Bourdain linked to Harvey Weinstein,
Is he linked to Jeffrey Epstein though?
who might have been linked. Yeah,
I don't think
he was.
Weinstein-
Apparently, he was on those planes.
Who was? Weinstein was on those planes?
during the 90s.
I mean, I
heard
wouldn't
that
doubt it.
years ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
All this stuff has been out.
How come he hasn't shown up on the call logs?
I don't know. Maybe because they got him. I guess I don't.
What does that mean? Why would they just go? We already have this guy.
Well, they had
I never
Kevin
seen
Spacey.
Yeah, I never seen him on any call logs.
I don't know.
I'm not saying that it's impossible. First off, you have to realize that Epstein is like he's not the Catholic Church or Sandusky who fucked little boys.
Right.
It seems like his thing was like young women, like just
Yeah, it
young,
was
not young women,
15-year-old
young girls, and
girls.
the ones that we know of are just between the ages of 13 and 16. Like those are the ones that we basically know of. Like I haven't heard
But
any.
here's
like,
the thing: if they want someone killed, it's always a suicide, right?
Yeah, this is the first time it's the first time someone has committed suicide where the entire country, including the media,
Yeah.
are skeptical. Because usually it's it's
He
usually,
committed suicide. It's
yeah, and then the story goes away, and no one ever questions it except for crazy conspiracy theorists on the internet, right?
Yeah.
But now it's Joe Scarborough came out and said he must have been murdered. So it's up. I mean, the FBI would really let us down if they find no foul play in this.
Here's my prediction.
They will be complacent with whoever is behind the murder of Jeffrey Epstein.
Here's my prediction: the media will run with it, basically, and they will. In 2 days, they'll say he actually did commit suicide because they'll come up with a plan.
Yeah.
Somehow that they'll find some sort of evidence that he committed suicide, which is bullshit. If he did, I like the idea of him escaping prison and going off to Israel. I think that's very possible too.
People just say stuff like that. That's more of a crazy crackpot conspiracy theory.
Could happen.
I think it's just most likely that he was murdered because it's the second time. First off, when a couple of weeks ago when he tried to commit suicide in his cell,
Yeah.
they were trying to blame a inmate.
Right.
For trying to kill, trying to kill him, and they were saying, "Oh, the reason why he tried to kill him was because he hates pedophiles."
Right.
It's like, listen, this is one of the most important prisoners.
This guy's not your average pedophile.
Yeah, and no, this is one of the most important prisoners in this country's history, right? He's a holder of a lot of information. There's your Joe prisoner, Joe jailhouse is not going to be able to get to him.
No.
At the fucking lunch table in
Shankham.
in Metropolitan Manhattan County fucking prison, wherever the fuck he was. There's that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. They try to pin it on him, on this guy. I don't even know his name. So this time around, I just don't see how he is able to actually kill himself.
And also,
how do you allow that?
I think also the reason why he was arrested this past year is because something had to have happened. Why wasn't he? Why? Because he was arrested in 2004, wasn't he? He
just served 10 months in prison last year.
So why now everyone's coming out against him? I think he did something.
There was just I think there was undeniable evidence that he there's undeniable evidence of a crime because the woman Virginia Giuffre, that's the one that's taken to court, that he got caught. I don't know.
What I'm saying is this.
No idea what I'm talking about.
What I'm saying is this. I think that this guy, this Jeffrey Epstein, he was like the party animal of these elites. Of these elite guys, Trump and Clinton. He was like the guy they went to. It's like, hey, don't worry about it. You had a stressful fucking month. Let's go on the Lolita Express, fuck underage girls with Jeffrey Epstein. And I think that's what's going on. This was their degenerate friend. Because this guy also, it's been around for years that he liked young girls. How come Alan Dershowitz? I was listening to him earlier. He's like, well, I defended him 15 years ago, but if I would have caught him with an underage girl, we would have been terminated. I would have terminated our relationship. It's like, well, what were you defending him for? You were defending him because you weren't defending him because he was, you were his lawyer because of a civil case or something like that. You were defending him because he was caught fucking an underage girl. So wouldn't that be this guy Dershowitz is just as guilty as
he also
as
appears in the Black Book.
Yeah,
he's a guy that obviously. He fucks underage girls too.
Sure.
He partakes. So,
and I'm telling you, this Epstein is everyone's dumb, degenerate friend.
But you got so many powerful people. Like, you got people who are like the president of universities and there's world leaders from other countries.
World leaders. Easily could be taken out.
He seemed like but it's not like a small fraction, it's like a small fraction of the United States government that he had ties with.
Yeah.
Like he had global ties across the world, and he was like the go-to guy for child sex trafficking.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And I don't know, describing him as like this some like party animal. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but I know that. But like describing him as a party animal like degenerate guy. Right, he's working. You're trying to say he's working for someone that's above him. That's the guy that's like, Epstein works for me. He's the party manager guy.
Yeah,
I don't know. It seems like he had a lot more. More to do with this whole situation. Epstein had a lot more to do with this whole situation.
I also think this: if you're just blaming it on two people, either Trump or Clinton, because that's what's going to come out. You're all going to blame fucking Trump or Clinton. If you're a Republican, you're blaming Clinton. If you're a Democrat, you're blaming Trump. If you really do think they made the call, you're fucking stupid because it's a whole fucking global conspiracy.
Yeah,
they all made the call.
It's bigger than
this was done.
Yeah.
It probably didn't even come down to Trump or Clinton. It probably came down to some fucking guy in France in his fucking tower, his Eiffel Tower, fucking making moves, zombie.
It's bigger than two United States presidents.
It's bigger than this.
It's like not. It's not just like
get out of your bubbles.
Yeah. Also, mass shootings are fake too.
What are we into?
14 minutes.
We had to touch on the Epstein thing.
Yeah, he had to touch on little girls. We had to touch on
We had to touch on Epstein. That's what we do on this program. We've been talking about this for how long? We always break conspiracies.
I don't think we
always
talked
talk
about
about conspiracy on this show.
I'm thinking it's him.
Huh?
Thinking it's
You
him.
don't like any of this stuff, do you?
No, don't care for
Sheep.
it.
Bah.
What?
Bah. Bah.
I like to say
Bah. You like to watch?
I'm a bad boy.
We had to talk about this.
I walk in and Zombie's watching Home Alone.
Yeah.
I see Macaulay Culkin's face on the TV. Right, he's watching a thing like a film series about Home Alone. Wasn't
okay.
like literally watching this movie. And I see Macaulay Culkin's face on TV, and I go, "That guy has some secrets too, Zombie.
Yeah.
Your boy has some secrets."
It's very hard to watch.
What do you think? He doesn't know what goes on in the inner layers of Hollywood?
Of course he knows.
Yeah.
This is bigger than Hollywood, goddammit. This is a global conspiracy.
That's where it starts. That's where it starts,
Yeah.
in Hollywood.
in Hollywood.
They get into your head. They put out a shiny movie star or starlet, right? And they go, "Oh, you will never ever think this you think this person's the last person to do anything seedy or unethical, right?" And then behind the scenes, the people that are pushing that starlet, look at what they're doing.
That's right.
They're doing all kinds of illegal activity. You take like someone like Gwyneth Paltrow, and who's the person that pushed her? Harvey Weinstein. You take Bill Clinton in the 90s, right? Great president. The guy behind him, Jeffrey Epstein.
There you go.
What we're trying to say,
Boom.
I think you know what's going on. I'm sorry, I've been up for 3 days.
This is all very real to the public. It's all very real. Goddammit, go out there and go out there and rally. See, here's the thing. I don't trust the
It's all
public.
because of violent video games.
Here's the thing. Is I don't trust the public either.
Yeah.
I think if we overthrew the government, we would just create another government of
would.
just government of assholes.
Yeah.
So I don't trust the public. I'm happy. There's like 4 or 5 old men fucking just pulling the strings. Because the public is a bunch of retards.
Sure, yeah. They wouldn't know. The public would not know what to do with it.
Right.
If given the opportunity, like to lead, they would just go either around in a circle and do exactly what the government previously did.
Yes.
Or they would do something retarded, like vote in a potato.
Yeah. You can't give the public.
Potato leads carrot in the polls.
You can't give the public the right to vote. I don't. Did you vote this past election?
No.
Have you ever voted? I never voted.
I wouldn't want you to vote. If you had to vote, who would you have voted for?
Nobody.
See, that's what I mean.
Well, what if they said, okay, you can write in somebody, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
well-
you can vote for either Hillary or Donald Trump, or you can write in a candidate. What would you do?
Who would you write in?
Toaster?
There you go.
There you
So
go.
that's why the public should not be able to make decisions.
That's why we really don't vote.
Yeah, because then there will be like 3 million people that want to write in toaster, and then a toaster will be the president of the United States.
And then there's a few people who walk away. They go, "Oh, my guy won. Trump won." Your vote did not matter. When the Yankees win the World Series, I turn around to all my friends, "We won. I wasn't playing."
Yeah, no.
Your vote does not matter. This is the woke ass podcast. We're all woke now on this show. Zombie's like, I just wanted to have some fun. We're like the 2 angry brothers from Mother again coming into Zombie's house. Could you get me a Diet Dr. Can I have a Diet Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, sure.
So, fucking people forget that Rob and I are 2 real motherfuckers from Staten Island. And every now and then we're going to say some shit. It's all hard with playing.
Well, even like the world was the country was distracted by those mass shootings that all happened last weekend. Did you see how the resemblance between the El Paso shooter and the Garlic Festival shooter? You see how those guys looked exactly alike? They're running out of crisis actors.
Well, there's one guy who's been to 3 different events. Three different
mass shootings?
but it was one.
He was at 3 of them.
At 3 different. One was in Paris, American kid. One was in Paris. One was in the Brussels one.
Brussels, yeah.
Brussels one, and
Same
then
one.
Las Vegas.
Okay.
He was at 3 All three.
Have people found that out, or he admitted to that?
No, well, he admitted to it, I guess. There's a story about
Did
it.
he's come
There's gonna
out-
be a Disney's movie about it probably one day.
Yeah, he's like Forrest Gump of mass shootings.
Yes. But yeah, it's out. It's out. There's a story out there. He's been to all three.
All I know is
Now, it's either this guy has the most unlucky vacations or what's going on. How is he at all three?
yeah. And another thing
I've
is
never been mugged.
Now this is easy to figure out though, because obviously the school year is between September and June. But you ever notice there are no mass shootings? There's rarely any mass shootings between September and June. They always happen during the summertime.
Wait, what did you say? No, you said between September and June.
There's no mass shootings outside of school shootings between September and June. Very rarely. There was one at the mall 9 years ago or whatever it was, with the senator that got shot in the face by some kid.
Right.
That's the only one I can name. Even Vegas happened in the end of June.
So this just happened yesterday. How come? So the Walmart thing happened what 3 weeks ago? Whatever.
No,
it was?
last weekend.
Last weekend. Okay. Well, there's so many. I don't fucking remember. But just yesterday, another kid, right, dressed in camouflage, came into Walmart with a rifle, and they tackled him. An off-duty cop seized him. Right, and they waited for the police department to come, and they arrested the kid. Well, how come? I mean, I understand that there's probably not much security at Walmart, but how come this happened and the other thing didn't? Like, how come we arrested that one kid? Right.
Well, also it's a week ago there was a mass shooting, so maybe Walmart security's on high alert.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, the logic will kind of tell you that.
I guess so. I'm just trying to find the facts. God damn it!
It's as logical as Walmart, making the decision to ban all displays of violent video games and violent imagery, but they continue to sell guns.
Did they do that?
Yeah.
This was recent, or this was after the shooting?
This is after the shooting.
Well, that's just. But that's the thing is they blame it on stupid shit.
Yeah, but also I'm not blaming video games whatsoever, but there is a part of the human psyche that plays those games that it kind of controls your mind a little bit. Like, you remember when you used to play Grand Theft Auto?
Right.
And if you ran someone over, right, you would hear that splat.
Sure.
Every time I see roadkill in the street, I think I'm going to run that thing over to hear it splat, but I never do it.
But you never do it.
Yeah, but there's a part of me, because I was programmed when I was a kid, I used to play Grand Theft Auto, that thinks that might be okay. Now, I have an ethical part of me that's like, well, that's not okay at all. Don't do that. You know, but that's my brain kicking in.
Yeah, but here's the thing, is that it's like Zombie just said. Wouldn't you take the guns off the shelves? Isn't that more offensive right now in the time of sensitivity?
It's not about what's offensive. It's about what's safe. And video
What do
games.
you mean what's safe? The
I'm
guns
not disagreeing with you. I'm about to fucking let me finish. Video games are obviously more safe than guns. I'm not saying that.
Right.
Video games are a safe outlet for people who they have tendencies to want to shoot guns. It's been
That was even like during Aurora, right? Mm-hmm. They made a big deal about the movie Gangster Squad. There was a movie called Gangster Squad years ago where they had gangsters shoot up a movie theater because cops shoot up a movie theater because gangsters were watching a movie. And they deleted that scene because they were shooting in the movie theater. They deleted the scene because they felt that it was insensitive because of the Aurora mass shooting during the movie theater during the Dark Knight Rises.
I forget what shooting was after, but I think it was the most recent season of American Horror Story. There was a scene where it's like some guy goes to a political rally and is shooting a gun into the crowd, and because I think it was the Vegas shooting, right? Like the Vegas shooting. It's like just because they didn't want to have that imagery, they deleted that scene, and I just think doing something like that was stupid because that scene was shot weeks, months before that shooting ever happened.
Same thing with the Gangster Squad.
So it's like, but they didn't want to appear insensitive. It's like you're not insensitive. It's like you're airing your episode at regularly scheduled time.
We don't ban
that the shooting was going to happen.
What was the guy that shot Reagan? What was that guy's name again?
William Hinckley.
Right.
No, that wasn't his name.
Hinckley.
John
Hinckley.
Well, he was obsessed with Jodie Foster because it's Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Right. We don't stop showing Taxi Driver on television.
No.
The movie's not banned.
And it's like I think Quentin Tarantino came under fire a little bit for. There's a scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where Brad Pitt's
Be
character.
very careful. Don't spoil this for me.
This isn't. It's not a big.
It's a brief scene. Go on.
It's not a big spoiler, but it's like basically there's a scene. Brad Pitt's character is in a car with this young girl. She's like supposed to be like 15, 16, or whatever.
Yeah.
And she is like propositioning him for like to give him like a hand job, like a roadhead or something. He's just like. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to jail for that. I've been to prison once. I'm not going back. So he's turning her down the entire time.
Right.
But Tarantino's still like getting shit like for having that scene.
Wrong time to do it in a movie.
But it's like no. But it's like
I understand.
It's depicting it, but it's not
Right.
because it's not. He's like taking her up on the offer. It's like, I'm sure the actress was like a lot older than 15.
I 100% agree. But in today's day and age, where everything has come out, that's the wrong time to put that in that movie. I don't disagree him putting it in the movie. He should put it in the movie. It's part of the story.
Cutting stuff like that out of movies and TVs, I think is stupid because scenes for TV shows and movies are shot months, weeks, before these things happen. The only reason we see them like at the time that shootings or.
But you don't think people? You don't think people are influenced by what they watch on TV or what video games they play?
I think people. Only people who are influenced by either violent imagery on TV or movies or video games are people that have a loose connection with reality.
Right. I mean, and there are people like that though.
People they can't disconnect from the video game. They play a video game like Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty and think, oh, this is real life. This is like, I'm actually a soldier and like shooting a machine gun in the war. Like, this is how it actually happened. It's like, no.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people who are like that though in the world that have a loose connection with reality.
There's some people who even have like those thoughts, but that's
you don't think the people
why they play those violent video games because if you're like in your job, you're just like walking the street and you just like see people that you just want to like gun down, but you don't because one. You just don't want to go through the process of getting a gun, and you just like don't have it in you to actually kill actual people. It's like, but you can just mow down an entire field of people in a game
virtual reality
because they're not real. Like, say if you turn the game off and turn it right back on, those 50, 100 people that you just killed, they're gonna pop right back up. It's like same thing with something like.
But you don't think any of the mass killers, any of these these high school shooters or whatever fuck, you don't think they all suffer from mental illness, right? I'm not saying
I'm not saying they're not mentally ill. I'm just saying it's not the video game. Whatever game they play.
Then what could it be? Like I don't. Now, I'm not saying it's video game. I'm not saying video games. I'm not saying it's violent movies. All I'm saying is that those don't help. I'm not. They don't help.
I mean, like put it like this way: it's like when I was a kid growing up. I watched this popular cartoon show at the time, Captain Planet. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yeah.
Is the whole like show was meant to inspire kids to be better, to help clean up the planet, clean up pollution. That was like literally like the message behind every single episode of the show. And I watched that show literally every time it was on.
You became a janitor.
No, I'm not environmentally conscious. It's like I don't. It's like I put my have like my.
You did become a janitor.
That has nothing to do with saving the planet.
I mean, it has something to do with cleaning things. Maybe subconsciously. You know what I mean?
Not really.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
I'm not like it's like I don't have like solar panels or I don't use biodegradable shit.
So you're saying create a video game where, hey, in this game we clean up the environment during this one.
I mean, if people think violent video games are what's like cause mass shootings, then yeah, make a game like that and make kids play that
and see what happens
and see how many kids go out. I mean, they have fucking.
There was a Columbine video game on the internet. If you remember, there was one. Yeah. Yes, there was.
I don't remember.
Columbine video game?
Yeah, you first player shooter game where you go into a high school and you shoot up a high school.
But first off,
there was one. I remember that.
There probably is.
There's a farming simulator game.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Farming simulator, I think 18 is the most recent one. How many kids out there you see going join a
milking cows on this?
Yeah, but
invading farms and creating
harvesting corn,
but the news
saving sheep.
But the news media doesn't cover farmers the same way they cover anyone, mass killers or school shooters or serial killers.
Yeah, but
There's no glory in being a farmer. I'm not saying there's glory in the other stuff, but there is a sense of infamy that you get, and you become and you go down in history.
Well,
and maybe that has a lot to do with it.
Well, that too
You
is-
take an angry person, right, who gets no attention, and then they go into it, and then they snap, and they go their one outlet. The easiest thing for them to do is go out there and murder a bunch of people. That's what I think happens.
Well, also the media and everyone says this, but it never gets done. The media puts these guys' faces out there like they're rock stars.
The media is never going to change.
Well, they should change. That should be changed. Those guys' faces should not be out there. The kid for the Boston Marathon, Rolling Stone, put his face on their cover as if he was Bob Dylan.
Yeah, and know how many magazines they sold?
Well,
People bought the magazines.
You know what? Then don't give people that choice. I think that's wrong what they do when they put out a guy's face who just shot up a bunch of people. You know, I get it. The victims aren't watching it. They're
How many victims can you name? And you can always kind of name the killer.
Right.
You always see pictures of the murderer first.
I can't even name the Florida Parkland. I named the activist, but I don't know any of the.
Nicholas Cruz.
That was one of the
Florida. Yeah.
the victims.
No, that's the shooter.
Oh, the shooter. Yeah. No, I was saying the victims. Because you asked me what.
I can't name the victims.
Never name
I can
a
name
victim.
I can name the activists. David Hogg and.
But they've been blaming video games, blaming movies and musicians for years. That's an easy thing to blame.
That's an old school Republican stance,
right?
That's what that really is. I mean, that's all Trump was. He was just repeating what Newt Gingrich said 25 years ago.
Yeah,
whatever it was.
The right blame.
He has no answers.
Here's the thing. This is why I don't like both sides of the Second Amendment thing. This is why I don't like both sides because Republicans blame Marilyn Manson and Grand Theft Auto 4 and fucking Quentin Tarantino, and the left blame the gun. Right? They just go with the simple. Ban the guns. Like, they go with that sort of like, well, hold on, you can't.
There are a lot of people on the left that are pro-gun.
I'm not, but both stances are. Well, they are, but they don't cover those people. Those people are not in the NRA. The NRA is mainly Republican.
The only
probably 100%.
The only thing that the left.
There's no common ground on that issue.
There is.
Where?
Just ban assault weapons in
Assault
the country.
weapons?
Just ban assault weapons.
Some people like to have an assault rifle.
Why do you need an assault rifle?
I don't know, because some people are crazy. I personally, I think I agree. You should probably. I don't. I mean, that's again. I don't because it's a touchy issue. I don't know.
You got people who have assault rifles, and then they get they're very pro-gun, and they'll be the first people to tell you why they have the right to have an assault rifle.
Right.
And then a month later, they get into an argument with their spouse, and they beat the shit out of their spouse. They get arrested for domestic violence, and guess what? It's the first thing the police take away from them. And what the government takes their right away, they take their gun away.
Yeah.
So you can't argue why you should have an assault rifle when you obviously have some sort of temper. Now, maybe you're like, I wasn't never going to use it on someone. Well, of course not. I doubt that. It's what is it, like less than 1% of legal gun owners actually commit these mass murders, these mass shootings. But end of the day, you shouldn't have the right to carry a weapon if you are going to get in trouble anyway.
I don't know. Some people and also it's money too. But there's a market for it.
Yeah.
So some people like to have an arsenal in their fucking home. Personally, I'm not.
Video games are easy. I'm just saying, video games are easy to blame.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but there is a part of me that's like, I mean, it can't be good on someone's conscience.
Personally, I wouldn't probably have I wouldn't own a gun. I would own a little handgun, but not a fucking shotgun or anything like that.
What do I need a gun for?
Well, if someone breaks into your house, why would you
I
want?
don't know. They're not gonna. What are they gonna take?
Maybe I don't know. Something can happen. What if they take the dog? What, you want a gun?
I might shoot the dog.
Yeah, but maybe with a gun, you push down the dog.
Or you use the dog as a shield.
Really?
Well, you shoot him in the foot then.
Suppose the dog's at his feet.
All I'm saying
What if
is
I shoot the guy, the bullet goes through the guy, and then it hits my dog? Then what? Now I have two dead things in my house. And no dog. And
But
illegal.
this is the worst case. I'm just saying. These are worst case scenarios.
What if the zombies rise up?
Your fucking zombies are never going to rise up. That's never going to happen, zombie. Your people are dead. That's it. They never happen.
back, I'm telling you.
Last night, what's it called? Farouk. I was hanging out with Farouk, and he parked near a cemetery, and I looked into the cemetery. I don't give a fuck. Cemeteries are creepy as shit. There's nothing there's in the night, at night,
It's totally dead in there.
fucking so creepy. I don't know how kids used to drink in the cemetery back in like the 80s. Like, yeah, man, we're going to be fucked up in the cemetery. Fucking drinking his shit. That's right. How many?
We're at 34 minutes.
How about this? We released this episode as a bonus.
Yeah,
It's kind of like, this is our Epstein episode. This is our take on Epstein and the world and mass shootings. This is serious Greg and Rob and kind of zombie.
Yeah.
And then the next one we'll call it a fun one.
All right.
Where we can laugh and smile.
Yeah. I don't feel like smiling, man. There's too much horror in the world.
Right. Okay, so let's end it here. Let's get a cigarette.
We're gonna end
Yeah,
it.
35 minutes. This is our bonus episode. This is just our bonus about Epstein.
Oh.
Extra shit.
Extra
We
shit.
have final thoughts on Epstein.
Let's get our final thoughts.
Predictions.
Predictions. I like to
He
hear
was a
some.
guy.
I like to hear a prediction. I'll have a prediction for you.
Yeah,
You go
one?
first.
Oh, nothing happens.
What do you mean nothing happens?
They just find out he committed suicide.
Yeah.
The case is closed. Nothing gets revealed. Maybe one of the people that were named in the dossier go down.
Right.
The rest will deny it. The rest will deny it. Nothing will happen. And in a week from now, we'll be talking about Area 51.
Right. I agree. I think right now, if you're any of those people, if you're Bush, Clinton, Trump, Prince Andrew,
anyone can go down. Yeah.
This is a very happy day for you.
Well, even the media turns around and says, "Well, there's so many of these guys that breathe a sigh of relief."
Oof.
Sigh of relief.
Sigh of relief.
What am I saying?
They woke up this morning. My
yeah.
God, they.
Well,
Fucking,
when I read it, I first read Epstein trapped to a gurney. The photos of Epstein strapped to a gurney. Right. And then I read the article below it. Jeffrey Epstein commits suicide in prison.
Wild, man.
How do you allow that? I don't see. Could you not chew on mic?
could you just keep going? We're talking.
Just move the mic over.
I know. Don't worry about what I'm very conscious of it. Fucking guy, Jesus! Stop flipping out on me.
Sorry.
Fucking poke the bear, zombie.
It's intense times.
Very intense. You're like fucking what's his name from Forrest Gump?
No, I'm
The
not.
fucking guy. That goddamn Nixon.
No,
Or
it's
was
not
it-
true. I just don't like when you chew on mic.
That goddamn Johnson.
There's no reason to chew on mic.
Lying bastard Johnson.
I'm professional.
Fucking worry about me chewing on mic. How about you breathing on
Chewing
mic?
on the Jewing.
Every time I listen to this show, I feel like I'm listening to Gandolfini.
Welcome to Jew
That's
Jew.
not me. That's you.
No, it's not. That breathing's in control. That breathing's in control. Fucking emphysema over here.
Probably zombie. I don't have emphysema.
Fucking emphysema.
There you go. Keep chewing on mic.
Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom.
What did I say?
I just had an Opie and Anthony moment.
Yeah.
These episodes are always great because we always fight at least one time during the episode. Right? Well, my prediction is, excuse me, my prediction is nothing happens. The media is not going to run with it, and this will be a non-story throughout the
It'll
week.
just probably go away.
Gonna fade away, and then
Yeah.
we'll all be like, "Remember Jeffrey Epstein?" And someone's like, "Hey, yeah, that guy killed himself." Do you think the Clintons did it? Nah, because the media was like, "Hey, they found evidence."
Will anyone ever prove that the Clintons are behind any of the murders that they've been accused of being behind?
The Seth Rich thing doesn't even get talked about.
No. It wasn't even covered.
Doesn't even get talked about. The guy was murdered in Washington, right around the block from the White House, where there's zero crime, right? And they said he was robbed, but he had his wallet on him and all his identification cards, and there was money still in his wallet. There you go. And nothing on that. And they'll never. And they'll,
Who's the one that also got? There was a car accident. There was
there was
a
one.
guy drove his car into like a telephone pole.
Yeah, I just
trying
don't
to make a
remember.
coal.
I just don't remember that one.
Yeah.
The other, there was and also with this Epstein thing, I heard there was like 4 police officers.
That was Anthony Weiner. That wasn't
Anthony Weiner.
Yeah, there was like 4 police officers who were assigned to the Anthony Weiner case, and they all committed suicide within like a month. I don't know how true that is. I read that on fucking 4chan.
And Julian Assange is still locked up, right?
Yeah. He's probably like a month away from committing suicide.
Yeah, they're gonna kill him.
Didn't he already try to?
I heard they try.
Try to kill him.
So,
Yeah.
well,
We live in it's a one world government.
it's crazy.
One world government, often people.
It's crazy. Okay, let's.
All right. Well, that was your
Epstein.
your Epstein bonus
episode.
content. Yeah.
Rob and I got heated toward the end.
Yeah, for no reason.
I was chewing on Mike, and
Stay tuned to our next episode.
we'll have fun during this one.
Yeah.
Zombies looking forward to having some fun.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Epstein.
Hear that? That's the sweet sound of Minute Maid slushies at McDonald's, turning up your summer with every sip, slurp, and ah.
Get a small sweet peach, blue raspberry, or fruit punch slushie for just $2. Or get any size soft drink for $1. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only. Cannot be combined with combo meal.
Yo, if we go to 7-Eleven right now, we can be back in time for the game.
I don't know, man. I don't want to miss kickoff.
Okay, but Gatorade is 2 for $2.50 when I use my 7-Eleven app.
Dude, but kickoff.
But how are we going to stay on top of our game while watching this game if we're not on that 7-Eleven game?
I don't know how.
Keep up, dude. 2 for $2.50 Gatorade with my 7-Eleven app.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, I'm feeling you now.
Thank you.
7-Eleven. Be game day ready. Plus tax where applicable. Valid at participating locations.